Our first person I want to discuss is our master Bilal ibn Rabah. Umar radiallahu anhu said about him, Bilal is our master who was freed by our master. And there's this habit when we speak about Bilal today that we always mention, and you always read it in books and you see it and you hear it in lectures, Bilal the freed slave. Like freed slave was his middle name. Right? Bilal the freed slave. Bilal the freed slave. The freed slave. Bilal the freed slave.
Bilal ibn Rabah, radiallahu an, may Allah be pleased with him, was the person who called to prayer for the Prophet, one of the early Muslims.
Is black Bilal, who I paid money for, equal to me?
Yes. Muhammad says, before God, all men are as equal as the teeth of a comb.
Oh, this is a very pleasant idea to slaves and beggars. It gives them pretensions.
Bilal, teach this man the difference between a lord of Mecca and a slave. Take that whip. Lash his face to teach his mouth a lesson. Whip him!
Do it, Bilal.
Obey them.
They'll kill you.
See what anarchy they bring. They've even infected our slaves.
Also Salman al-Farisi, a Persian man. He was also a slave. There was also Suhaib al-Romi, Suhaib the Roman, was also in a slave position. And you will find that there were Arabs, Zayd, a number of people who were Arabs who were in slave positions. And so from the beginning, Islam taught that people should not submit to created things, but they should submit to the creator of the heavens and the earth.
If you're human enough to have gods, remember, they are the gods of your owner.
I bought your humanity, Bilal, when I bought you. You will be corrected.
God. There's only one God.
Who's stronger now? Your master, or this one God of yours?
One God. There's only one God.
Bring the stones.
In the opening chapter of the Quran it says, Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in. This says, you alone, O God, do we worship, and you alone do we seek for help. And so this concept, which is called Tawheed, the strict concept of monotheism, gave the individual a feeling not to submit to created things, but to submit only to the creator of the heavens and the earth.
Break him.
Have you finished with him?
There's only one God.
You could swear the slave was preaching.
What?
Lord Umayyah!
Abu Bakr will pay 100 dinar for this slave.
Wait now. It's against our social order to sell a slave during his correction.
The offer is to Lord Umayyah. 200.
If the price of slaves is raised, we shall have to bathe ourselves next year.
Take him. He's no use to me anymore. Kill him or take him. I'm finished with him.
And so from the beginning, one of the strong actions done by the Muslims was to free the slaves. And so you find a number of people being freed from the beginning, especially by one of the Sahaba, the companions of the Prophet, whose name was Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anh, who was recorded to have freed a number of slaves, a number of people from the lower class, and many of these people rose up in the ranks of the Muslims to become people of distinction.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa Allah. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa Allah.
It is also reported that the Prophet himself freed 63 slaves. His wife Aisha freed 67. The Prophet's uncle Abbas freed 70 slaves. Abdurrahman ibn Auf, one of the rich Sahaba, there's a number of reports, but he freed thousands of slaves. Zukala Himyari freed 8,000 slaves. Abdullah ibn Umar freed 1,000. Hakim ibn Hazm freed 100. And this list continues. And you will find within the annals of history, if you read the history book of At-Tabari, Tariq At-Tabari, Ibn Kathir, Ibn al-Athir, you go into the actual reports from the language of the people living at the time, you will find a number of people who were released from slavery by the Muslims who were struggling very seriously in those times to try to right the wrongs and to bring the society into a society of justice. One of the pillars of Islam, which is called zakat. And this is the third great pillar of Islam. And this is charity, or this is the due, 2.5% of the wealth, which is given every year to the poor and the needy. One of the categories of people who were defined by the Creator that you should use your wealth for is a person in slavery. That you should spend your money to get people out of a state of slavery. According to the traditions of the Prophet, peace be upon him, we find that if a person fell into that condition, that they were supposed to eat the same food as the person who was above them, wear the same clothing, not supposed to be punished or harmed, and they were supposed to be helped to come out of that condition as soon as possible. This is the root definition of quote-unquote slavery within Islam. It is a narrowed down institution which was not a pillar of Islam and not a necessary institution within Islamic life.
That hold on to